What's going on, guys? It is Mr. Crazy Crow. I'm back again with another video. And I finally got around to making my PlayStation 4 E3 press conference overview. And I know it's a little bit late, and I know it took a while, but I did it. I was just way too fucking lazy. So let's just get right off to it. This year's E3, and after this video there will be an overview video of everything. This year's Sony E3 though was pretty fucking banging. I have to admit, I normally don't watch Sony shit for fear of it getting way too fucking weird, way too fucking quick. Past years have proved that Sony are not the best at doing E3 conferences. And granted, this one wasn't all too spectacular, but it did have a few gems. So we're gonna run through it anyway. E3 is that. First off, Call of Duty. It didn't change my opinion that this game's gonna be shit. It looks cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't like where Call of Duty's going now. As I've said countless other times in my videos. Jesus Christ, how many times have I ragged on Call of Duty? It didn't change. Everybody's like, oh, I hate it till I saw the gameplay. And that's the thing with Call of Duty. We love it till we get it, then we fucking hate it. And, or we hate it till we get it, and then we love it. But, it looks like the same shit, different year to me. That's all Call of Duty is, the same crap to me. But as far as the laws of physics, the thing with the trailer is that, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I want realism. I want a little bit of realism. And when they were in space, you could hear shit, which I'm not a space major, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I don't think sound travels in space, so you wouldn't be hearing a goddamn thing. So they took liberties, obviously, as you do. They took liberties, and I say fuck them. That's what I say. I say fuck Activision, because they're gonna money hoard that franchise. On to the next game. They showed off this game, like Become Human or some shit. I can't exactly remember what it is, so I'm gonna have to pull it up here because again, this is I kind of waited way too long to do this, but it was like a game, and it was like this cyborg dude. It was really hard to fucking follow. It was one of the hardest to follow shit I've ever seen in my life. It's like, I guess you're an agent. And you go around and you solve like mysteries, kind of like Sherlock Holmes style. Except for you make choices, and apparently those choices like have altering consequences like never before in a video game, which a lot of video games have done. Which I don't understand. I don't understand that mentality, but okay, whatever. It looked interesting. It was probably one of the most interesting games that they've seen this year, that we've seen at E3, and I think it's gonna do good. I have high hopes for it. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, well, fuck. They just spent fucking 8 minutes showing off a game that's shit. The next game was God of War, which I was really surprised to actually see that they were like, hey man, we're going back to God of War. There hasn't been another God of War, since the God of War remake. And, that's not going to sell consoles, obviously. For them to bring that back, I think, is a ballsy move, because there is nowhere for the story to go. There is nowhere for the actual story to progress to. I think now you play as Kratos' son, which kind of sucks to me, because they kind of just took the main character and kind of gave him the finger. And I don't know. It looks interesting. It is what it is. Then we saw Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm fucking hyped for. If there's two things that you can basically make me become a fuckboy for, it's giant mechs and dinosaurs. But you take it one step further when you make the dinosaurs into giant mechs. That's fucking awesome. And then we have the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens, which, I'm a huge fucking fan of Lego games. The little kid in me fucking absolutely goes apeshit crazy over Lego games. I've played almost every single one of them to play. But I have to say that this one does not look interesting at all. I guess I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I don't know. It is what it is. But we got to see this game called Ship Assault. Oh, wait, no. That's Call of Duty. Well, now. Ship Assault my ass. Let's go on to the next one. We got to see this game called Farpoint. Now, Farpoint was a real weird fucking game. It was kind of like Call of Duty, but it was like VR. It looked absolutely goddamn horrible. It did look like it wasn't doing anything to sell anybody. And I think that's one big thing with Sony this year. They kind of tried to oversell things. Try to get people hyped, and people weren't having it. Like, people were looking at this like this game looks like shit. On the bright side, though, we do get another Resident Evil. The downside is it's fucking VR bullshit. So, I mean, Sony really pulled out the stops. I can't say that they win E3 only because they focused way too much on the VR shit. And then you've got the price point, of course. They announced it. It's like $400, and I'm sorry, but to the average consumer, $400 for a set of goggles is goddamn absurd. And they really, I think, need to step back and look at who they're marketing this towards. Because so far, there's no games for this shit. And there's a few, but, it's a new technology. Nobody knows how to really utilize it for what it's worth. And I don't know. Next, we got Skylanders, and they announced that Crash Bandicoot is actually coming back, which I lost my shit because I thought honestly they were gonna tell the fans to go fuck themselves. They ain't ever getting Crash Bandicoot. We'll hold that fucking franchise hostage till the end of time. But they did it, and they're coming back with, granted it's a remastering, but I think this is them to get, a new generation involved into what Crash Bandicoot is. And it's also to get, I think this is the forefront to get a sequel, You gotta get through the remakes to get the fucking sequel. And I think this is where we're gonna get a sequel now. I think it's pretty much confirmed next year. You heard it here first, motherfuckers. What else did we see? We saw Insomniac's making a Spider-Man game. Downside is it's fucking VR. I don't know how this is gonna go. As someone who has tried VR, it makes me motion sick. So I don't think Spider-Man being a VR game is gonna be very, very unique in itself. I think it's just gonna make a lot of people vomit. And but we'll see how that works. It's made by the same people who made the stunning Sunset Overdrive, and I guess we'll see. Hold out hope. And then Death Stranding, I think is what it's called. That's the new game by Hideo Kojima, which is really fucking interesting because we did not see jack shit from it. We got a trailer. We got an announcement trailer with Norman Reedus. For those of you who don't know, The Walking Dead, you should go watch it. And it was a weird trailer. It was probably one of the weirdest trailers I've seen in 10 years of being in and watching E3. 10 years, that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And if you haven't seen the trailer, it's up now. And then you can go view the whole thing. It was a weird fucking trailer. It had like babies, and it had a naked man, and it had fucking floating people. I imagine everybody watching E3 and they saw this high, they were losing their fucking marbles. And then last but not least, we got a Batman VR game, which again, motion sickness, but they'll take anything and make it into a VR game nowadays. VR seems to be the new thing. All in all, I think Sony, I have to give them credit. They did come out and show off what people wanted. As Microsoft tended to lean towards the more, we're not going to leave anybody behind bullshit, which they're full of shit. But Sony seemed to really be focusing on, giving the fans what they want. They brought back Crash Bandicoot. They brought back God of War. They're basically giving people what they want. What I will say, and what pisses me off, is that the Call of Duty remake will come to PlayStation. What is it? I think a month early. So I think they get in like mid-October. But they assured us it's only the campaign. Which, you never did even play Call of Duty 4 when it came out for the campaign. Who the fuck sat there and bought Call of Duty 4 for the campaign? I'll tell you who. Nobody. And it still is kind of a bummer, me being a fucking Xbox fanboy and everything. I mean, I own a PlayStation, but my console of choice is an Xbox. And it's kind of a sack in the gut, to say, hey, we're going to charge you the same price, but, other people are going to get it early. That, I think that's some shady ass business practices. But, I mean, it is just a campaign. I guess, if you look at it from the other side, you're not really missing out on anything because the multiplayer is what we all want and everybody gets that at the same time. Maybe I'm just nitpicking here, but I think overall Sony had it doesn't topple Ubisoft. I have to say that. It was pretty boring to watch, but Ubisoft's press conference, you wanted to shoot yourself after the end of that. Because that shit was just downright boring. At least they brought in a few surprises. They brought in, a few of the surprises that actually get you in, to continue watching it. And, but I think they did pretty well, But I'll tell you who won E3 in my next fucking shit. Because that's when I want to wrap it all up into a nice little bundle. And this was just each company being specifically looked at. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.